Hi friends, welcome to TechHarvesting. In today's video, let's have a look at how we can take user input in Rust, and we'll also have a look at packages, cargo, and more about package managing in Rust. First, let's have a look at what are packages in Rust. So if you use other programming languages like JavaScript or Python, you would have had a need of using more features that are not available directly in the package or in the programming language. So you install other packages from different libraries or different libraries from package managers and stuff. For example, if you're using Node.js, you would use npm, and for Python you would use pip. Just like that, for Rust we use something called cargo. Now when we installed Rust in the first episode, we had a look at installing it, and we also installed cargo along with Rust. So cargo is the package manager which we can use to install packages for Rust from a website called crates.io, and we'll use cargo later on, but in this video let's have a look at how we can use the default standard input modules that are loaded with Rust, and the default library that comes with Rust are called preludes. So preludes are there in all programming languages. By default, it's a set of common functions. Like in Node.js, we have the fs package where we can use to access the file system. Just like that, in Rust we can use the input-output library to go ahead and get user input and also make output. So in this video we'll just have a look at basic interactivity. So we open our terminal, and the terminal prompts us for some text, and we input the text, and we're just going to print it out. This may be a bit simple, but this will be very useful in later videos. So let's get started. So in order to receive user input, we'll need to use the standard input library. So now this is a part of most of the programming languages, and in Rust you'll need to import it using the use keyword. So you can do use and then std : and then you can go ahead and give the name. So that's the IO package. Next we'll go ahead and create a variable which will be taken up as our input. Now this may be a bit confusing because in Rust strings are a bit different when compared to other programming languages. We'll have a look at them later on in the series, but for now just bear with this. So first we'll create a normal variable which is a string, which can be mutable. So we use the let keyword, give the mute keyword also, so we can make the variable mutable, and then I'll leave it as inp for input, and then write this out: string with a capital S : new and a function, and then you can put a semicolon at the end. So now what this is doing is it's creating an empty string. Now you may think that like in other languages you can just do an equal to, give a double quotation and do this, but this will create another type of string which we'll talk about later on. So now this is how we do it, and in case you are wondering about this : that's a syntax. Like you can use it to tap into modules, crates, and also some types. For example, the string type, you can go ahead and go into the string type and use functions or variables inside them also. So this is there in other languages also, but in Rust this is how we do it. Next, let's have a look at how we can go ahead and read the input from the terminal, so that when we type something in, it'll automatically be stored on this input variable. So for that you can use the IO : std in, so that's the standard input, and then dot read line. So now this read line will go ahead and read the text that we're going to type in. Now in here we're going to just copy this down. I'll explain what it means. So ant mut, then the name of our variable inp. So now what this is basically using the IO library, the package, and which is defaultly built into Rust, going into the std in, and then we're going to read line. Now what this means is we are passing in this variable, but we're not passing it like a normal variable. Now if we just did this without the ant mut, it will create a copy and pass it out. Now that's not what we want. We'll look much deeper into this in the ownership model and all the stuff related to memory management in Rust. That's when you'll understand all this, but just for now you can give the ampersand and mut. So this will create a reference or a pointer, and this will make it a mutable reference with the mut keyword. Just do this for now. We'll talk more about this and more about strings in coming videos. Next, let's go here at the end of the line and give a dot expect, and then error reading the line. Now this is kind of like in JavaScript, like how we give the try catch function, and is there in many languages, but this is how we do it in Rust. Now Rust by default expects an error, so it's like this is what we want to happen. It's like the opposite, because usually we get errors while programming, so we are expecting this error to happen, and if it does not, it won't happen. So now this will be enough to go ahead and get our input. Let's go ahead and print our input, so we can use the println function or macro. We'll look at that later on. And we have quotes, empty braces, and we can print our inp variable. Let's go ahead and run this, and as you can see, the cursor is waiting for our input. So we type something in, hello, hit enter, and it prints back our input, which is the input variable. Now one thing you should note is that this readline function returns something called a result. Now this is similar to the output of a promise or something, if you're looking from JavaScript point of view, but basically it's like a kind of data type or the output of something in Rust. I'm not going deep into it now, but basically if you remove this and run the program, it should give us an error. As you can see, unused result that must be used. So we are making use of it by expecting something to happen, so in case something goes wrong, it will print this out. Now probably there's less chance of something going wrong with just a read line, but in case something happens, we're gonna get this error right here. So that was it for this video. We had a look at how we can go and take user input from the terminal with the stdio package, and also we had a small talk about packages in Rust. Thanks for watching. If you found the video helpful, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye friends.